Good evening and welcome to the Melissa Cardinals Network. You're joining us for this week's episode of the Cardinal Scoreboard Show. This is Trey Graham along with Cardinals head football coach Matt Nally. We're going to talk about a tough loss on the road at Lovejoy. Then we're going to talk about the bye week. We're going to meet our offensive and defensive players of the game, two first-time recipients of the award.
That's awesome.
And so we'll get to meet them in just a minute. But we do have to look back to Lucas, Texas.
Yeah.
It was a great game, a fun game, an exciting game, and a tough loss. Last second field goal, final score, Lovejoy 41, Melissa 38. I've got a bunch of questions for you, but your overall thoughts.
You saw it all weekend long in college football, and you saw it in the NFL, but mostly in college football. And this is what I told the kids this morning is, the best team didn't win. The team that executed the best in all the right situations won the game. And that's what Lovejoy did. They executed the best in situations that, were pivotal in the game. And when you do that, you're going to win. So, we didn't obviously play well enough overall. But definitely in certain situations we didn't play well enough, and it caught up with us.
That's most easily done in the stat sheet by saying 4 turnovers.
Yeah, 4 turnovers, and then, we've got to convert things in the red area. We've got to do a better job on third down. And not just that, that's offensively and defensively. We extended drives, 3 of their drives on third down. And then, we've got to, coming out of the negative red area, we've got to make sure that we protect the football. And then when we have an opportunity to execute within the red area and score points, we've got to score touchdowns. And, I'm an offensive guy, and it just is who I am. But, I like to score touchdowns. I don't want to kick field goals. But now I've got an unbelievable kicker and
2
Nick.
of them.
Yeah, Nick and Sham. And but I'm greedy. I want to score touchdowns, and when we get in the red area, I expect touchdowns. So we just got to get better in those areas, and it's that lifelong, long, old school saying. But you never lose, you learn, and this is an opportunity for us to learn. And during the bye week and next week with Independence, allowing us to rest and recover and heal, because we have been banged up since fall camp, but really since Parkview. And, each week we've had another kid banged up here and there, and it does give us an opportunity to recover, but also hopefully we have an opportunity to learn from our mistakes that we made against Lovejoy, but also against our previous opponents as well.
We talked a lot throughout the week on the air and off the air that your opponent this past Friday was Todd Dodge. He'd won 7 state championships.
Right.
He's a high school Hall of Famer.
Correct.
For high school football coaching.
Correct.
Did they do anything that surprised you?
They did some stuff defensively that was a little bit different. Our offense is different, and we had a coach that was here last year that's now there. So they did, and he's a defensive
I don't want
coach.
you to skip over that. That's actually a big point. That one of your assistants is now an assistant for them. Now that happens all the time.
Right,
There's nothing,
right.
no hard feelings about it.
No.
But it's a fact.
Right.
When you call your signals or call plays or formations, he used to work for you.
Yeah.
Now he works for Coach Dodge.
Yeah, and he's done a great job. I'm really proud of him. He's an unbelievable coach and has done super great things when he was here, and then now that he's at Lovejoy, he's done some good stuff. But they did a few different things defensively, and then offensively they did a lot of stuff that was different. So, but at the end of the day, once again, I heard a coach say this about his district. He's like, the district champion might have a loss or two, and just because of how difficult the district is. And it's not, once again, it doesn't go back to talent. A lot of people think, that's the best team because they're the most talented team. No, it is really super hard to win a football game. And like you said, we can go back to Vanderbilt and Alabama this weekend, and you would have said they could play 1,000,000 times, and Alabama would beat them 999,999, but Vandy beat them that one time, and they did it. They beat them that one time because they executed the best in situations. In football, that's what it is. It's only situations. It's not like people believe that you can line up and just run people over. There's so many techniques and so many different things and schemes out there that negate certain deals. So like people say, oh, you get to halftime to adjust. No, you don't. You have to adjust constantly because they might be, I'm going to use football coaching terms here, but they might be a rub five to the boundary. They might be long sticking and things like that they've never shown before. Well, you've got to adjust on the fly because offensive linemen, they're having to adjust as this is going, and it's difficult. And not just that, but okay, they might show quarters. Well, they might show cover six. They might show quarters but spin weak there's a lot to it that goes on that a team might not have shown the week before, and then they show against you. And that is something I've learned, and Melissa, and I need to get better at it. Is I think I've told you this before, but there was one week that I can't remember when it was, but every single week we played a different team and they did something different. And then they showed on.
Do you think they're changing that week, or do you think they were saving something for you?
I'll be honest with you. If it's me, I always save stuff. I would always be like when I was calling the plays, we were playing Salina, I would start working on Salina in the summer, and then and then I would play them whatever week 7, and the game plan would already be in before I got there to them, so I would be like, cool. There was no, we're installing anything that week. It's hey, we're saving this for them. So. I don't know. I don't know the answer. If it was me, it would be I'm working on things and saving it till I get to that point. But once again, that's good coaching, and that's good planning on their part. So, which I got a lot of praise from Coach Dodge before the game and after the game, and he is to me, he's a great person. Not just a great coach. He's a great person. So, very blessed that I have that relationship. But once again, football is football. Football is like life. And, and I was telling the kids this morning, it's situations in football is like moments within your life. And there's certain moments that you can either win or lose. But if you win a moment in your life, it could change the trajectory of your family. But you could lose that as a husband and a father. You could lose that moment. It could go in a different direction. So, like I said, I think the kids are in a great spot, and we just need to move forward and get better. Pretty much is all I can say, Pastor Graham, about that.
41-38 was the final. Did you expect it to be a high-scoring game?
No, I did not. I did not expect it to be a high-scoring game. Their defense is a little bit exotic in certain things that they do, so I knew that we would have to get used to it. Because you really can't simulate some of the stuff they do. And then we've just been playing so well defensively that it didn't matter if it was Todd Dodge or if it was Bill Walsh or whoever. I was like, we're going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. When they went 3 and out, and then we got it and turned it over and they scored, I was like, okay, we gave them a touchdown. That just is what it is. That happens sometimes. But then it kind of started turning into a little bit of a track meet. And
I was using the tennis match analogy on the broadcast where you got to score on your serve and break their serve.
Yep. And it's, I don't like football games that you have to, and I've won football games that way, but those are the ones that, you want to be put on an EKG when the game is over, just to make sure that you're not having a heart attack. But obviously it was a great experience. And once again, our district is so competitive. And I've said this a million times, but I'm going to say it a million more, is it does not matter if you're first or if you're fourth. You will be ready for the playoffs. You will be. Our district, our league is so unbelievably, it's going to put you in a situation where you're calloused before you even get there. So I tell my guys all the time, I'm like, guys, we're already in the playoffs. We're not. People are talking about, we're trying to extend our season and this, that, and that. Every single week for us is a playoff game. It's a playoff atmosphere. It's a playoff environment. It has playoff culture to it. So, we're already going to be ready to go when it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th round when it comes to the playoffs.
We're going to introduce you to our offensive and defensive players of the game in a moment. First, I need to tell you that today's episode is brought to us by our good friends at the Dugout Sports Grill.
Oh, dang right.
Doug Zato, Cindy Casson, and the great folks over there.
Yeah.
Go get you some dinner and enjoy some sports on TV. So we say thank you to our friends at the Dugout Sports Grill. You can see we're in the weight room because we're going on the road every game, taking you to a different place. So we're going to talk weight room here in just a few minutes. But first, I want to let you comment on our offensive player of the game, wide receiver Tyler Montgomery, and the defensive player of the game, DB Doomy Gadsden.
You know, it's talking about Tyler. It's so neat. Like, I'm gonna say this, and I've said it about a few other kids, but you know, I taught 4th and 5th grade PE, and Tyler was in those classes. You know, so I've got an opportunity to see Tyler grow up, and just the unbelievable human that he is what I am so proud of. People don't see like the work ethic that Tyler puts in, and the adversity he's went through, and to be where he's at. And you know, he's still like, his foot is still an issue with him, and he still is fighting through it and whatnot. And then, you know, he shows up in a game like that, and we're already so beat up at certain positions. Receiver's one of them, and he shows up and contributes in a big way to the team. So that just shows you and tells you so much about his character and who he is as a person. So Tyler is extremely deserving of being the offensive player of the week. But he's one of those kids, too, that has been here for the last, you know, however long it's been, that he is very deserving of just like being a great human being award. And then Doomy Gadsden, which I'm so proud of him, because, you know, as a freshman, we moved him to the varsity, and then he didn't really find his way. And they were like, hey, cool, no big deal. We're going to let you develop a little bit on the JV, then we're going to bring you back up. And he went to the JV, and he tore his Achilles, and he was out that whole year. And then last year, we were kind of like, you know, we just don't really know where Doomy fits. Is he a receiver? Is he a DB? And whatnot. And he played sparingly in some games. And this year, at the beginning of the year, we're like, we're going to use him as a receiver. You know, this is what we're going to do. He's going to be a receiver. And we got some kids injured, and he had to move back over to the defensive back position. And, I mean, he is really, really talented. But once again, it goes back to, you know, I'm going to say it, he's a really good kid. You know, he's going to grow up to be a great man. So, and that's the thing that I'm the most proud of is these kiddos that you guys are picking, but these kiddos within the program are really special people. And they're going to be really good men that are driving our country in a positive direction. So, I mean, that's Doomy Gadsden and Tyler Montgomery. They're going to be those kids doing those things.
You're going to get to meet them in just a moment and see some highlights from the past game against Lovejoy. We do invite you and your family to join us at First Melissa Sunday morning worship services in our church home, 9 a.m. or 10:15 a.m. And you can visit the website, firstmelissa.com, to find out more. And, Coach, I want to say one thing. Today it's 1 year since the horrific terrorist attacks in Israel. And so we want to continue to pray for the folks in Israel. There are 101 hostages still remaining in Gaza. So we need to pray for them to come home.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk more about football. We're going to talk to you about the weight room as we continue the Cardinals Scoreboard show. This is Trey Graham with Matt Nally, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Melissa Cardinals Network. You're watching the Cardinals Scoreboard show. We're introducing you to our offensive and defensive players of the week for the district game against Lovejoy. Our offensive player of the game was wide receiver Tyler Montgomery. He had 5 catches, over 100 yards. Senior number 12, congratulations on being the offensive player of the game.
Sir, thank you. I appreciate it.
You played a great game. You've dealt with some injuries.
Yes, sir. Definitely a setback. But
so you're really your best game of the year.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I was out these past 2-3 weeks from just trying to get back from foot injuries, like the pain's coming back. But, yeah, I felt really good this week. I'm not going to let the foot off the gas, so I just went in there and did everything I could, the most for the team.
What makes a good wide receiver?
Just really, when people look at it from a different, stand, it's kind of just like, oh, just go run and catch the ball, run straight, catch the ball. There's a lot more to it. Route running, breaking down your route, figuring out how to do this, do that. It's a lot to it, but another thing is you just got to catch the football, and that's what we did. We just need to execute on more of those opportunities. But yeah.
To be a little more intricate, what's the difference in being an inside slot receiver versus an outside receiver?
So usually a slot receiver inside, you're more technical with your routes. Outsides, you're more kind of run straight, post, kind of deep route. Slots or do a lot of the dirty work, I guess you have to say. Doing a lot of the, like the screen passes and stuff. So, but yeah, yes, sir.
Do you prefer one over the other?
I'd like the slot a lot more because I think it's a lot more interesting. A lot more stuff pops up. You kind of have to use a lot more brain power, I guess it makes sense. So, but yeah, so definitely a slot.
What's it like being a senior and a leader on the team?
It's definitely something I've looked up to since being a freshman. I've looked up to people ahead of me.
Who did you look up to?
Definitely Carson Maynard. He was as a sophomore, definitely in Lincoln Dunn. They kind of just set the example and set like what to show for, and I feel like that leadership carries down and definitely helps me lead on the other younger underclassmen. So I feel like, yeah, definitely they've helped me a lot.
Good. What's your favorite class in school?
Probably science, environmental science. I just like, it's interesting to me. I like learning around the world and stuff. So.
A lot of players give that answer,
really?
Environmental science.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty interesting. It's
yes.
Cool.
What do you want to do after high school?
Haven't decided too much yet. Obviously, I have some offers for football. I've been considering that. But something fire science most likely. So just.
What does that mean?
It's just the steps to become a firefighter. Fire science, EMS, just stuff to help you become a firefighter. So that's kind of been in my back pocket, but I'm still deciding. So.
And last question, what have your coaches taught you?
Really everything. I mean, from even just stuff like drills and skills and all this stuff, it's definitely, I give everything to Coach now because he's taught me it's more like it's not just about football, it's about life too. He's taught me to be a good person, manners and everything. But obviously I give everything to him. The only reason I'm in the situation I am today is because of them.
Well, congratulations on being our offensive player of the game.
Yes, sir, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wide receiver Tyler Montgomery, the offensive player of the game for the tough loss against Lovejoy. We'll take a break and let you meet our defensive player of the game, Doomy Gadsden, right after this.
One receiver wide right is Dababne. And Shuback drops back, looks left, has time. Now he rolls to his right. He's going to throw it. He's got a wide open receiver. Tyler Montgomery catches it inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, Cardinals.
Great vision by Shuback. Good patience rolling to his right. Great catch there by Montgomery tonight. His first reception of the night.
Split right. The inside receiver is Tyler Montgomery. Split end over there, Jacob Nye. 2nd and 9. Fake the handoff, has time, throws the post route, has the receiver open. Tyler Montgomery, his second long catch of the night, down to the 33 of the Leopards.
Great route there, good. Put that right on the money, did Shuback, and then great job by Montgomery. He took a big lick. As soon as he caught that, was able to hang on to the ball.
Gain of 41 on that post route. It's 3rd and 12. And here's a
pulls off the field.
Cardinals have 10 men on the field. They're throwing it deep down the field for Montgomery, who makes another long catch.
Welcome back, Tyler Montgomery.
39 on that one. His last one went 41 yards.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Scoreboard Show. This is Trey Graham. You're getting to meet our offensive and defensive players of the game for the tough loss against Lovejoy. Last interview, you got to meet our offensive player of the game, wide receiver Tyler Montgomery. Now you get to meet our defensive player of the game, defensive back Doomy Gadsden, number 21, a junior on the team. Congratulations for being our defensive player of the game.
Thank you.
Congratulations. This is your first time here with us,
yes,
so
sir.
It's good to have you. Tell us about your name, Doomy. Is it short for something?
Yes, sir. Short for Dumasani.
Dumasani.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that the full name?
Yes, sir.
Good. Middle name is what?
Jeremiah.
All right. That's a long and distinguished name, isn't it? Good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations. You are our defensive player of the game. Tell us what your game plan was on the defense going into Lovejoy.
Really, for the back end, we were really focusing on staying with our guys and like Day, of course, their 4-star, just making sure whatever side we were on, whatever side he was on, we would have Jared Patusik follow him and
So it was
safety.
an assignment for Patusik to stay with 11.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. And he did really well with that, and I think all around, I think we did our best to do what we could to stop him and stopping like the passing game going. And of course we lost, but I feel like later on when we play him again, when we'll have a better game plan, better way to stop less of explosive plays happening.
2 interceptions,
Yes, sir.
one down the middle of the field and one in the end zone,
Yes, sir.
trying to keep those feet in.
Yeah.
Tell us about that play.
Ooh, just
Right there at the pylon.
Just the first time he ran the post, but when the QB threw it out, I was like, oh, well, we've ran this play a lot in practice, covered it in post out or the post corner. And I was like, okay, well, be prepared. They might go right back to it. And this is like the first game of real, like, the team's actually like constantly tried throwing it my way. So it was like very little bit like, okay, I got to be on it. So then he called it. They did the post, and I was like, oh, he's coming out. And he kind of didn't, like, push me, like, to where I had to go deep inside. So just sat on it, and when he made his route flatter to a post out, I was like, oh, then I just played the ball. I just knew it was going to me. So just really focused. To be honest, I didn't think I got in with that foot. And then I was like, man, I don't know how. It was insane.
But you'll take it.
Yep, I'll take it.
All right, 2 interceptions in one game. What does it take to be a good DB?
You got to have a lot of, like, you got to be, like, really mentally, like, strong, and you can't get too low and too high. Like my Coach White says, can't get too high, can't get too low. And when the big plays happen, you got to think, okay, that happened, we got to be on to the next thing. And when a bad play happens, you get scored on, you get anything let up on, you got to understand that you got the next play to go off or the next drive, that you just got to do what you got to do. So
You felt like they were targeting you?
yeah, especially kind of early on, like they weren't really doing too much, but that second half coming, I felt like after they meshed and I got hurt, I think they were expecting, okay, we can try to start taking more shots at them. So after the first pick, I was thinking, oh, they're probably gonna be done. And then that drive once I lit up the touchdown, I was like, man, like I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I can't believe like I really just let that up. So I just knew once I got back in, they were gonna try it. And of course, later in the fourth quarter, I was on the post, and I was really happy when he threw that because it's like, oh, that's mine.
And you went and got it.
Yep, went and got it.
Good
Yes, sir.
job. What's your favorite class in school?
Ooh, math, algebra 2.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
I feel like it comes very easy to me, and like I just know it. Like I'm really good at math. So
Good.
yes,
How
sir.
long have you lived in Melissa?
Since 5th grade, so that's junior. I don't know, like 6,
Okay.
7 years.
And where before that?
Ooh, Aubrey, Texas.
Okay. Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
What do you want to do after high school?
Try to get any D1 scholarships or anything, and if that doesn't go as planned, then probably just try to figure out like business or something. But really, really trying to really get those offers coming.
Have you started talking to schools?
I've in the summer had a couple, but nothing like crazy talking. But I'm trying to like get there to where they notice like I'm the real deal. So I'm trying to get my name out there.
Good.
Sir.
What have your coaches taught you?
Just to be like they really like, it's more or less not like a football standpoint. It's like be a good man and just try to be as good person as you can be. And on the football side, just like practice as hard as you can, work hard, and that also comes out with like real life situations where you just gotta work really hard. And if you want to get the things that you want done in life, you have to work hard and go and do it. It's not gonna be given to you. So
Good. Well, congratulations.
thank you.
Our defensive player of the game for the Lovejoy contest, junior DB Doomy Getson. We'll take a break and talk more with Coach Matt Nally right after this.
2nd and 1. Leopards quickly to the line. Twins to both sides. Janacek throws it out to the right side. And good defensive play there by Doomy Gadsden from the corner spot.
Yeah, good break on the ball there on Doomy. Went through the receiver, knocked that ball loose.
Here's 3rd and 8 from the 15-yard line. Janacek low snap, straight drop back, has pressure, throws it on an
There he is.
on an out route in the end zone. It's going to be intercepted, touchback, and the Cardinals D gets a turnover.
Doomy Gadsden. Good rush there on Janacek by a couple of Cardinals.
Nice play there by number 21, Doomy Gadsden, of the regular season. It's early, but in effect, this is definitely for control of the district lead for sure. That's going to be a short pass out to the right side and a gain of 3 for the Leopards. That's Coleman Ray again.
Yep, Doomy Gadsden on the stop.
Cardinals down by 3. Janacek fakes the handoff. Todd Dodge is keeping the gas down, and he's going to throw a deep post route.
There's
Picked
Doomy.
off by Doomy Gadsden at the
With
20.
room
at
to
the
run.
30. And he's going to turn upfield at the 40-yard line. Doomy Gadsden with the pick. And the Cardinals have the football. There is a flag down near the line of scrimmage.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Scoreboard Show. You got to meet Tyler Montgomery and Doomy Gadsden. See a few highlights from their performances in the tough loss to Lovejoy. Final score was 41-38 over your Melissa Cardinals. We've told you that every week we're taking the Cardinal Scoreboard Show on the road. We've been all over the place. We've been out on the field. We've been in the film room down the way. We've been upstairs in the coach's locker room or coach's booth. We've been all over the place. Well, here we are in the weight room. And Coach Nally, I bet if I asked you to give me an hour on the benefits of weight training for football,
Yeah.
so maybe not an hour, but give us the benefits of weight training for football.
You know, there's so many benefits for weight training for life. You know, I mean, it's something that people take for granted. You know, I mean, the science out there for lifting weights now is so much more profound than it used to be. And, you know, just speaking about the science piece of it is, you know, they're like, lifting weights is better than running. It's better than lots of things that we do. It's probably the number one thing you could do for your body is to lift weights. So it is, you know, I tell the kids, you know, kind of as, I don't know if it's a motivational tool or whatever, but I kind of tell the kids that, you know, the most important classroom in Melissa is the weight room. And has nothing to do with lifting heavy weights. It has everything to do with it shows you who your true self is because the weight room is hard. It's really, really hard, and you cannot ask someone like in math and science and history or whatever, can you help me with this question? Yes, you have spotters there, but you have to do it by yourself, and you have to grind it through to get to this goal. So it is a great place to show your character. So, but to me, it is the most important thing in all of athletics. You know, it doesn't matter what the sport is, softball, volleyball, football, basketball, baseball. The weight room is the most important piece when it comes to the foundational part of your program. I'm a firm believer in it. I think it's, you know, a huge piece when it comes to building an overall athlete, not just a football player or a basketball player or whatever. But, you know, you go into a weight training session not trying to build a center or, you know, a quarterback or a wrestler or a power forward. You know, you're trying to build an athlete. And there's people out there that, you know, don't believe in certain things when it comes to the weight room, and they believe, you know, like the weight room is only a football thing or whatever. But, you know, you can look and, I mean, the most famous person when it comes to the weight room is going to be Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan was not a weight room guy, and the Pistons were, you know, physically beating the crap out of him. And then he started lifting weights, and then he beat the Pistons, and then he won 6 championships, and then everybody started copying what he was doing.
I think Tiger Woods in golf.
Yeah, Tiger Woods in golf. He can bench 300 pounds, you know, and there's just certain things that, you know, people are like, you know, weight room, you know. No, it's a huge piece. Like, I remember listening to a thing about Josh Hamilton and the Rangers, and he was talking about him lifting weights and the things that he did. And I was a head baseball coach for a few years, and I went to this A&M guy or the A&M head baseball coach, and he was telling me about the pitchers and their routine, and he's like, Coach, they'll literally get off the mound, walk in the dugout, and then walk and go do a workout right after the game. You're like, golly, man, it's heavy deadlift. So that kind of stuff makes you, just sometimes, because you have that old school thoughts in your head sometimes, like, well, okay, maybe you're not supposed to do this or whatever the case may be. But, science is out there for a reason, and data is out there for a reason that, it proves you wrong. So, but like even as a human, for longevity in your life and happiness and being healthy within your life, like, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, like you should lift weights, and it should be a part of your weekly routine. So, I'm a huge proponent of the weight room. Like I said, I could talk about it forever. We do a lot of explosive lifts. We do our stationary lifts like your benches and your squats, but a lot of the stuff that we do in here is for explosiveness. And it translates, it's different as the year goes on. So obviously you transition from the spring into summer, and then you have your seasonal lifts, and then you have your loading, and then your deloading as it goes to the spring, fall, and in your in season. So there is a method to the madness about it. It isn't just, hey, we're going to go in there and lift. We don't do that, and it's really gotten to a point where it's scientific in the regard of what Coach Pickup's plan is. Where
That was the next question: is how is it tailored to each athlete?
It's different for each athlete. So, and he has got a card for each kid. And I couldn't tell you, I'm not like this scientific. Like, I don't know. Like, I used to be the strength and conditioning director, and I just did it with a pencil or a pen. You know what I mean? He's got it down where there's like mathematical equations where you can input stuff, and it'll give you a direct, like, this kid should be doing this reps, So he has all that knowledge. I don't have that knowledge. So, but the one thing about this place, the weight room, is you can kind of hear in the background, but there's always somebody here lifting weights. So it could be an athlete who's already graduated, or a coach, a teacher, whatever the case may be. And it's just such a big piece of the human development that I believe that more people should do. But going back to the football piece of it, it is a huge piece of obviously building a football player, but a lot of people don't understand it's a huge piece in the recovery process as well. And that is, my mind in the last few years has went to more of pregame and more recovery than anything else in the regards of nutrition and the way we're in the weight room and things like that, whereas Coach Pickup is trying to build an athlete, where I'm kind of like, all right, cool, a kid, kind of has a bum leg, or a kid's played a 48-minute football game and he didn't come off the field. How do we transition that kid back into a practice week and get some of that lactic acid, some of that soreness, some of that stuff, so he can perform at this highest level on Friday without just saying you're going to go over there and sit there and let your body heal, because it's all about blood flow and getting blood into your muscles and whatnot, and allowing the healing process to take place. So once again, like I said, I could talk about it for a while, but it is probably one of my most favorite things is discussing this room. I didn't design it. Coach Stinton designed it. Coach Stinton did everything in here. The only thing I put in here was these yoke bars, and it's to take the weight off of the athlete's back, especially in season. We don't want to put any weight on their back because you're colliding. So we want to get in the yoke bar. But Coach Stinton did everything else in here. This is Coach Stinton's baby, and Coach Pickup is the babysitter. Like he's watching it. But this thing is everything in here is what Coach Stinton did, and he did a great job of putting it together.
It's another example of the high quality facilities here.
Correct. Super blessed. And you go to other schools, and some of the times, the locker room that you go and be in is their weight room, and you're sitting in their weight room going, golly, we are so blessed. It is so out of control how blessed we are. So yeah.
We're going to talk about the bye week.
Yeah.
Because you have 11 weeks in a regular season, so you play 10 games. One of them is a bye week, and that's what you have coming up. So we've talked about it in years past, but let's remind the audience the strategy of a bye week.
The strategy of the bye week is, obviously it's about physical recovery, but there's something else, the last few years that I've really gotten into is just the mental side of recovery as well, because you never want to have burnout, and that is kids and coaches. And you don't want to get to a point in the season where kids are like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, and it's not a physical tired, it's a mental tired. So you have to think about the mental piece and the physical piece as well as you get into a bye week. So the mental piece of it is we take the intensity down. So we don't practice for forever in season anyways. Not like when we were kids and you'd go out there and be flirting with UIL rules, which I don't even know if we had UIL rules.
I was going to ask if they existed.
But we take it and we practice for an hour and 5 minutes, and we do that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then you segment days. So like tomorrow going in our Tuesday practice, it's nothing but an individual setting. The entire hour and 5 minutes. So you're just with your individual coach. Now we might do, we'll get into like some group setting, but there's no teamwork. And what you're doing in that situation on the Tuesday setting is you're going back to your basics and you're really making sure, hey, we're polishing these things up again. And we're spending a ton of time on it. And then what you do, you go into your Wednesday, you're still mostly team or mostly indie, a little group, and you might touch a team just a little bit just to kind of stay polished in that area. And then Thursday, you have to hit on the bye week. You have to. You can't just say, oh, we're not doing that. I've been in too many situations where you go in the bye week and people are just shorts and helmets and no big deal. And then that next week, you have a horrible tackling session. And football is pretty simple. It's about blocking and tackling. And like I said, I've been a part of those before, and the next week you don't block anybody, you don't tackle anybody. So we have to hit. So Thursday will be a heavy day, and there'll be a lot of hitting on those days, and lots of good on good, and whatnot. And then Friday come in for a recovery lift, and then you give them the weekend off. So once again, hopefully the body's had a moment to kind of heal, because we do need to heal. Like, there's some kids that didn't play on Friday, and I probably shouldn't have played Jacob Nye on Friday against Lovejoy. But at the end of the day, hopefully gave us enough time for those kids' bodies to heal, but also to give them a mental break. A lot of people don't understand what these kids go through and how long they're up here, and all the stuff they have to think about as they're going and navigating through a day. So, it's, school and girlfriends and, thank goodness that we didn't have social media when I was a kid, but those negative pieces and those just things they have to deal with on a daily basis. And then they got to know, okay, I've got a trap and corner. This is what I got to do. There's certain things that they just need a mental break. So hopefully when we go into next week for the independence prep, they have rested and recovered their mind and their body.
This is the bye week. No game this weekend for your Melissa Cardinals. They will be facing Frisco Independence back at Coach Kenny Deal Stadium, which is right there, and a week from Friday. We'll talk about that on next Monday's show. This is the locker room. You can hear a little bit of activity going on, but it's usually a lot louder than that in here. Our thanks again to our friends at the Dugout Sports Grill for being the sponsor of this week's episode. And thank you for spending your evening with us. Congratulations to Tyler Montgomery and Doomy Gadsden for being our players of the game. And, Coach, enjoy the bye week.
Thank you.
By the way, the Black Knights are undefeated.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're invited to our First Melissa Church home Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. or 10:15 a.m. Find out a whole lot more on the website, firstmelissa.com. Your Cardinals on a bye week, Frisco Independence a week from Friday. Enjoy the weekend off. Go Cardinals. For Matt and Allie, this is Trey Graham saying good night from the weight room.